Yeah, so coming back to the second part of my COVID vlog. Yeah, where I was telling about my situation of my family and myself. So what you are going to do, that I'll be telling, if the whole family gets affected by COVID infection, and how to deal with the things and how to cope up. I'll try to give you some of the my experiences and our experiences as a family. Also, that might help you a bit. So going forward is like, yeah, as we have already told you that we tested positive on 27th of August, and I had my symptoms a little bit, and my mom was asymptomatic, but she is also comorbid and around 60 years of age, so we have to take care of her, as she is a diabetic and also an asthmatic, so we have to take care of her. And also my dad also was not so prone for he was not having any comorbidities as such, but he was having the symptoms of COVID, but although he tested negative. So I want to bring one thing to your notice is that do not rely simply on the test. There are so many type of tests going on in the world right now. Beginning number one, here it will be seeing you, I'll be writing it here animated. The number one is the RT-PCR. It's called the RT-PCR, which is the gold standard of the testing, which brings about good sensitivity and specificity, about 98%. Okay, but samples has to be taken carefully and has to be taken in a proper order as per the protocol. Not only the sample, the swab, but also the conditions in which you carry the sample to the lab also matters. And also the technicians or the doctors or anyone, lab technicians who are carrying out the RT-PCR test, they also have to be very much well acquainted with the process. Okay, that's the first test, RT-PCR. Then second one will be the antigen testing, which is not that reliable. Okay, that reliable. And later part of the video I'll also be telling about, yeah, some patients coming to us are also telling that, okay, in COVID we are getting typhoid positive, we are getting dengue positive, why is happening, that also will be dealt on. I'll come to that part also, I'll touch on that part also. And the third thing is some antibody testing is going on now to check the antibody titer in the our body after being tested for positive. Then, yeah, second part is like the family got positive, so what to do now next? The first thing is not panicking. The situation 99% will be all right. If anything is there, symptoms are there, you give symptomatic treatment or take the symptomatic treatment from your doctor. Okay, but it comes with some challenges, because everything is not how they not by textbook. Like plan A might not work, then plan B, you have to think about that also. The thing is that the first thing is not to panic. Second thing is uh, integrate as a family and talk about it, discuss the possibilities how to do. And the third thing is isolation of the family members, very important, isolation. If possible, different washrooms and different rooms. If in the same room also, the distance has to be maintained. No person to person talking or coming closer to that. Okay, during the COVID time. Normally, the COVID, what we say is that the seroconversion takes place at the 9th or the 10th day. That is the virus. When we are tested positive, that is day 1. From that day to the 9th or the 10th day, the virus, when you do a serological test, it comes out to be negative. Okay, so we have to take care about that 9 days actually. Then about the food and all, it's a, yeah, or the whole family got affected together. We have to think about something, right? You cannot go to the kitchen, everything. In that thing, I want to bring that so many of my relatives, my friends, my dad's colleagues helped us in every way they could, and I'll be forever thankful to them. Those are the real people, right? Yeah, because at this crunch situation, who are helping are the real people, I think. And yeah, we lots of well-wishing calls and all came to my mom. For me, because I was having some cough and all, so I was not attending that many calls. Yeah, and also, yeah, people helped us in every way they could. and also giving up some goodies and all and kivas and all. And the second thing I want to tell is that yeah, nothing, no calls from the authority, no doctor's call, nothing. That is the one point I want to tell you, because the thing is that COVID care needs medical treatment sometimes, right? And because me, myself, and my younger brother both are doctors, so we can take care. But normal people, you have to think about them. How is the situation, right? So, I feel that myself, I researched a bit and I was thinking about it, how to do. So I came up with some solutions should be there to the problem. The first thing is that suppose a family comes positive, when we are already known and the government also knows about the thing, the healthcare department, the administration. So they have to appoint doctors. They have to appoint doctors to take care, virtual assistant. So that, and second thing is they have to appoint some labs, those who can come and they can wear the PPE kit, whatever they want, but they have to take our blood samples, collect the samples, and check the different tests that has to be done for COVID, so that we can at least know what is going on and how to get the perfect treatment approach. That's the thing. So these two things, I think the first one, yeah, doctor's appointment of the healthcare workers virtually is okay, so that they can call and tell this is happening, take this, or you have to do this blood test and this CT scan and all. The second thing is allotment of some lab, private lab, because all of us positive, we cannot go outside. Someone has to come, right? That is the second thing that the government has to look around. Not, I'm not telling about the government or the administration. The healthcare department has to think about this thing, which is very important, I think. These two things. So this was all about the family thing, like how to integrate together, and isolation, and just positivity around is the best thing, I think. Because once you are okay in heart and mind, I think you will recover from most of the disease, right? So nothing to worry, but if something happens, treatment has to be there on the day one itself, because the day 3, day 4, and day 5 of the COVID, we call it, are very important. So before that anything happens, or pneumonia or anything, if changes is there, you can treat it symptomatically, right? I know that there is no cure for COVID. That virus you cannot kill it, but the complications for the virus, I think by medication treatment and all, everything can come down, right? So this was about the part 2 of my video, which I wanted to tell very important things. And okay, let's see now we'll go to the next part of the video. I'll take a pause, I'll drink some water now, as I'm constantly telling. So after that I will continue with the part 3 of my video, where I will be discussing a bit of COVID related issues, what in the future, how can we deal with the situation, can reinfection happen, can reactivation happen, vaccines, what is the stage and what we are looking for that, and some kind of these things. Okay, so catch you in the third part after I drink some water.